to be educated, but I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness. I guess that ignorance is bliss.
Welcome to my channel. I'm Gary Wiryawan, and today is another everyday photography vlog where I try to find some nice compositions to photograph while I'm doing everyday mundane life situation. So I'm here having lunch, and I thought I want to squeeze a little bit of photography time, trying to photograph using paddy field and the rice plants as sort of an element in the photo, because right now I will show some B-rolls later, but the paddy field looks really nice. The rice plants are now really matured, so they have that yellowish color and they actually look like a plant right now with the grains on the plant. That looks kind of nice. So yeah, I want to try to photograph that. If you want to check out the everyday photography vlogs, you can go to the link up here. But basically, in these vlogs, I will try to, show you how I photograph things and explain to you using POV style, my camera settings, my thought process, that kind of stuff. Should be interesting for you if you are learning to do photography. So yeah, in terms of camera gear, I'm keeping it very simple today. Just two cameras. I'm using the Panasonic Lumix GX850 and also the Leica M8.2. I brought some lenses with me. For the Lumix camera, I have the Panasonic Lumix 14mm f2.5 and the Olympus 75mm f1.8. And for the Leica M8.2, I'm using the TTArtisan 35mm f2. So yeah, let's try to photograph some things. Alright, so for our first composition of the day, I photographed in this location a few times already. Maybe this is the third time I'm here, or maybe the fourth time, I cannot remember. But last time was December 2023. And as you can see right here, I just want to show you really quickly before I start photographing anything. The paddy, they are now starting to grow. So these are like rice grains, that kind of stuff, Really interesting to see. And I'm trying to photograph all of this, rice field together with the building, with that restaurant right there. So right now I'm using the GX850 and the 14mm f2.5 Lumix camera and lens. And with the Lumix, I will set the camera to aperture priority. So I'm thinking about getting a vertical composition. I will try to emphasize on one of the rice plant right here to sort of become the foreground. So this will lead into the building right there. 14mm, and I'm setting the camera to aperture priority. Let's make sure that I'm on auto ISO. Yes, I am. And let's turn the aperture to f4 for more depth of field. So first let's try eye level. We will try to crouch and raise the camera a little bit later maybe, but this is the composition that we'll get. No, I'm thinking horizontal instead of vertical. Something like this, maybe it look nice. Yep, very simple. Now let's try to crouch so we can get a more emphasis on the foreground. We'll try to make the foreground look, blurred. That will always look nice. Right, I hope you can see what I'm doing on the camera. I'm trying to raise the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. So yeah, something like this. Lots of the rice plants will become blurred because I'm focusing on the building. And that's nice. That's what I want. Alright, let's take a few more pictures. Let's try vertical. Maybe I can emphasize the rice plant a little bit more. Let's raise the camera just a little bit. I think the rice was just too much. Alright, something like this. I want to try to go over here because I think right here we have the rice plants that look better. All of them are straightened out. None of them are like bowing down or anything like that. Something like this, really nice. Yep. Trying not to crop the building. This is a 14mm lens. It's very wide, but sometimes it's not as wide as 12mm. So yeah, I'm really used to the 12mm focal length. I can pre-visualize with that focal length, but with 14 sometimes I might crop a little bit because it's a little bit tighter than 12. Alright, let's do horizontal one once again. Something like this. Yep, really nice. Alright, so for our next composition today, I'm thinking of trying to get a close-up of the rice plant right here. I think it will look interesting. I bet most of you guys have never seen a rice plant up close and personal, and that's why I switched to the Olympus 75mm f1.8 to try to isolate just one of them and let the rest become like blurry background. So yeah, this is aperture priority f2.0 75mm. Going to try to capture just one of them that looks nice. Maybe this guy right here, I think it looks nice. I think I need to back down just a little bit because the minimum focusing distance of the Olympus 75 is actually quite far. So yeah, let's try to capture this guy right here. I hope you can see what I'm doing on the camera. f2.0 aperture priority auto ISO. Something like this. The background blur is just really nice. Alright, I'm trying not to crop the leaves on the right. Something like this. Yeah, very simple. Just trying to let the rest become blurry because of the combination of the focal length and the large aperture of f2.0. I can really blur everything with this lens. Right, we have the one in front right here that I think looks nicer. Let's try to focus on that one. Yeah, very difficult because focus is really razor thin. I think I need to do a little bit of focus and recompose techniques a few times. Alright, let's try to pick out the other ones. The one on the left right here I think looks interesting. I will crop the leaves, I don't really care. I just want to focus on the rice plants individually. Alright, for the next composition of the day, I want to try to again capture the paddy field with those trees as sort of a background, and under here I found some plants that I can use as sort of a foreground of interest. So we don't really have a nice subject for this because it's just paddy field. So maybe that tree right there will be an anchor point for the eyes of the viewer of the photo to put their eyes on. Maybe that will be a nice anchor point. And now I'm thinking about capturing it with a normal kind of lens. So I'm switching to the Leica M8.2 with the 35mm f2 TTArtisan lens. I'm currently set it to f4, aperture priority, so automatic shutter and automatic ISO. So yeah, I'm thinking about doing a vertical composition, but we'll see. So I'm going to crouch. Hopefully you can still see what happens in the camera, or maybe not. Okay, I have to focus, so unfortunately you cannot see me doing that. Alright, focusing using the range finder. I just recalibrated the Leica camera yesterday. Alright, let's try to capture the picture. And I will try to take a look at the image to see if everything is alright. Maybe it's overexposing, maybe it's underexposing. Well, I don't really know, but yeah, I'm trying my best to focus on the large tree right there. Trying to frame it using the 35mm lens, which on this camera turns out to be 46, so a little bit closer to normal focal length. Alright, so one last composition for today. I want to try to isolate one of the rice plants again, but with the Leica and the 35mm lens. We'll try to do that. So I'm setting the camera to maybe f2.8, aperture priority auto ISO. Alright, let's try to capture some pictures. Minimum focusing distance is about 70 centimeters. Let's try to do that. Let's see how it turns out. Yeah, it looks kind of nice with the blurry background thingy going on. I'll try to use this building as sort of the background, maybe. So I'm trying to focus. Yeah, it's a little bit difficult to focus with the Leica because you're using the rangefinder focusing. It's not like traditional focusing. It's very different, but yeah, let's try. I can get part of the paddy field to become focused, but the rest is blurry, including the building behind. So I want to try to not crop the building behind. So focus and recompose. I hope it works well. Let's try the minimum focusing distance. I'm at f2.8 right now because the focus is just so razor thin. Yeah, I hope this is in focus. Alright, focus recompose. Maybe a little bit lower. Yeah, with this camera you have to, focus and recompose. It's a little bit difficult to do because there's no live view with this camera. And that wraps up today's video. So that is all for today's video. I hope that today's video has been entertaining, interesting, inspiring for you. Makes you want to go out and try to do photography. Yeah, I have a little bit of struggles with the Leica focusing because it's rangefinder style focusing. So critical focus is really difficult. For my next vlog, I want to try to employ zone focusing instead of doing critical focus like what I'm doing right now. So maybe I will try to find a cheap second-hand kind of wide angle lens for my Leica. Maybe a 21mm or 28mm will be really nice. And in regards to the paddy field photography, especially the rice plants in detail, I have a little bit of trouble with the thinness of the depth of field of the 75mm Olympus lens, but that's always really challenging, but I really like the challenge. It makes me enjoy photography even more. So please let me know in the comment down below which one is your favorite picture. Also, don't forget to support my channel by liking this video, sharing this video, subscribing to my channel. And if you want to support my channel even further, consider using the affiliate links on the down below and use the super thanks button. Thank you and see you on the next video. Goodbye.